Long ago, there was a little girl named Dorothy who lived happily with her aunt and uncle. Her best friend was her dog, Toto. Dorothy and Toto would play together for hours. They were playing outside one day when the wind began to blow.
Come, Toto, let's play.
The sky got very dark. Thunder rolled, lightning flashed, and the wind began to blow even harder. Across the field, Dorothy could see a long cloud, like a funnel, touching down to the ground. It was a twister. Dorothy called out to her aunt and uncle, but they were nowhere to be found. She ran into her house and locked herself in her room. The twister rocked the little farmhouse back and forth until it was lifted up off the ground. For hours and hours the little house spun through the clouds, until suddenly the wind stopped and the house fell to the ground with a great crash. Dorothy and Toto slowly opened the front door. It was a beautiful morning outside, and the sun was shining brightly. But it was clear to Dorothy that she wasn't in Kansas anymore. This was a wonderful green land with strange flowers and the smallest houses she had ever seen. There was also a road made of yellow bricks.
Where are we, Toto? Hello? Is anybody here?
A woman appeared in front of Dorothy and introduced herself as the Witch of the North. Luckily for Dorothy, she was a good witch. She explained that this was the land of Oz, and that Dorothy's house had landed right on top of the Wicked Witch of the East and killed her. Dorothy was sorry to have killed anyone, but the good witch told her that she was a hero for doing so, and that she was now the owner of the evil witch's magic ruby slippers. Dorothy had no interest in magic shoes. She just wanted to get back to her aunt and uncle. The good witch told Dorothy to follow the yellow brick road to the Emerald City, and that only the wizard who lived there could send her home.
How can I get home?
My dear child, only the wizard who lives in the Emerald City can help you.
Dorothy and Toto headed towards the wizard's palace. After walking for some time, they saw a man made of straw hanging on a pole over a cornfield. It was a scarecrow, only unlike most scarecrows, he could talk. He wanted off his pole. Dorothy helped him down, and the two became fast friends. He told Dorothy that the only thing he ever wanted was to be a great thinker, but, alas, he did not have a brain. After hearing his sad story, Dorothy invited him to come along with her to the Emerald City, where the wizard could give him a brain.
Hello? Can you help me get down from here? I'd help myself, but I don't have a brain.
We're going to meet the Wizard of Oz. Maybe he could help you get a brain.
Walking further along the yellow brick road, they heard a loud clanking noise. A rusty tin man, frozen in what seemed to be mid-chop, was standing near the road, trying to walk. Dorothy and the scarecrow put a little oil in his mouth so that he could speak. The tin man lamented that he'd rusted only because he couldn't stop crying. He was sad that he didn't have a heart. Dorothy put more oil on his joints so he'd stop clanking, and told him about the wonderful wizard who could give him a heart. The Tin Man joined them, and they continued down the yellow brick road.
I can't stop crying. I have no heart to love with.
Why not join us? We are going to the wizard who can help us all.
As they walked a little further, they heard someone whimpering. A huge lion was curled up in a little ball, shaking with fear. A mouse had bitten his tail, and he didn't have the courage to fight back. Dorothy consoled the cowardly lion and asked him to join in their journey to the Emerald City, where the wizard would give him some courage.
Ow! I'm such a coward. I couldn't even fight a little mouse.
Why don't you join us? We are going to the wizard.
The four friends continued their journey, but what they didn't know was that they were being watched. The Wicked Witch of the West was furious that Dorothy had killed her sister, and she wanted her sister's ruby slippers back. Through her crystal ball, she observed Dorothy and her friends heading towards the Emerald City. She summoned her flying monkey soldiers and ordered them to capture Dorothy.
That little girl killed my sister, and she has her shoes. Soldiers, bring them to me at once!
Dorothy, Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion, and Little Toto came across a poppy field with a willow tree in the middle of it. The tree was quite odd, with roots as long and as thick as a python. As soon as they came close to it, the roots reached out and entangled everyone except the Tin Man. The Tin Man, with his powerful axe, hacked the roots apart and rescued them.
We're caught! Help! Tin Man! Your axe!
We'll die for sure.
Don't worry, friends. I will rescue everyone.
These roots will choke us.
After crossing the poppy field, they came to a wide blue river. The water was quite choppy, and there was no boat for crossing. The Scarecrow suggested that they should climb on his back, for he was made of straw and wood that could float. With much difficulty, they crossed the river.
How are we going to cross the river?
The waves are too violent. It's too scary.
Don't lose courage.
Hold me tight, friends. I can float.
Finally, they reached the Emerald City. They were heading directly to the palace when suddenly the Wicked Witch's flying monkeys surrounded them. The monkeys captured them and took them away to the evil witch.
Oh my! What are these strange creatures?
We're done for sure.
Where are they taking us?
Flying monkeys? A marvel of science. And also,
The friends were brought before the Wicked Witch. The Scarecrow noticed that the witch was holding a small vial. "There's someone in it," he exclaimed. "You killed my sister, and for that you must pay," the witch said to Dorothy. "But first, give me back those ruby slippers." The witch advanced towards Dorothy and grabbed one of her shoes.
Give me those ruby slippers!
Get away from me!
You stay away from Dorothy.
there's someone in that bottle.
Oh boy, this is the end.
Dorothy fought back with all of her might. "Give me the other shoe," shouted the witch. Dorothy wrenched herself away from the witch's grasp. She picked up a nearby bucket of water and threw it on the witch. The Wicked Witch of the West gave a great cry. The water was causing her to melt, and soon she was nothing more than a puddle on the floor. The vial she was holding fell to the ground, and who should pop out but the Wizard of Oz himself?
Don't you come any closer.
Oh, not water! Oh!
Look, she's melting.
Oh, thank goodness.
Poor thing.
The wizard thanked Dorothy for saving him and ridding Oz of not just one, but 2 horrible witches. As a reward, I will give all of you anything you wish, he explained. The Scarecrow got his brain, the Tin Man got his heart, and the Lion got his courage. However, he told Dorothy that he could not help her get home. The power had been with her all along. She only need to wear the ruby slippers and click her heels together 3 times to go any place she desired.
A brain is what I need.
A heart to love.
Courage is all I need.
I want to go back to Kansas.
Oh, Dorothy, the power has been with you this whole time. Simply put on the slippers and click your heels together 3 times.
It was time for Dorothy and Toto to return home. She tearfully bade everyone goodbye and clicked her shoes together as she had been told. In the blink of an eye, she was back with her aunt and uncle in Kansas. Dorothy was happy to be home, but she would never forget her new friends.
Bye-bye, friends. I will miss you all.
Goodbye, Dorothy.
Bye-bye, Dorothy. Take care of yourself.
Bye, Dorothy. We will miss you.
Bye, Dorothy. Go safely and say hi to Kansas for me.